Then they'll see the best move
birds,
ever.
Mo. Oh my
Then they'll see the best move ever and go. Then the world will see the best move ever and go.
Mm-hmm. Left knee initiates your downswing. In other words, you don't do it with the hands. Like
keep the hands out of it.
The drop, you talked about the drop though.
Sure.
It's dropping because of your left knee?
Sure.
Okay.
Watch this, watch the car this time.
When you hit that shot, what do you feel?
Just a shade.
Just a little bit?
No, nothing here.
I see.
That's all.
You don't physically try to drop the club, it just happens because of leg?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, leg action.
When I was a kid, I did. Oh, I used to stay there for 5-10 minutes. Just
dropping
stay
it?
there like that.
Mm-hmm.
Used to stay like that for 5 or 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Just trying to keep your legs flexed, kind of.
In a sitting position.
Mm-hmm. You don't think then that, like they're teaching that the left
side
side's
motion.
It's not coming up, is it?
Too much dead motion.
Uh-huh. I see.
They're swinging around the ball, not through the ball.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, they're not swinging at the ball, they're hitting.
Mm-hmm.
Last thing in my mind is hitting the ball. Swing at it. Watch, here. $1 million swing, watch.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
$1 million swing.
I can't argue with you, tell me.
Especially you got it on film, too.
You think it was luck here? No, watch again. $1 million swing.
Now you keep the right foot on the ground for what reason now?
Keeps it more stable.
More stable?
Sure,
and you don't go to the outside of the left foot ever?
Never.
Never. Where's your weight at impact then? Do you feel like it's left or right?
Well, 60-40.
60-40 right?
On the left foot.
60-40 on the left.
Yeah. Watch, I'll really do it here. Hit a 300 watch.
So actually you think the modern player is getting too much weight to the left side?
Too quickly.
Too quickly.
The motion is stopping too quickly. And the club is still moving, but their legs aren't.
Ah, I see. Yeah.
They got the reflex action.
Right.
Which is bad.
So they got to get real handy then.
They're playing catch up.
Right.
Watch this.
That's good there.
It's as pure as a driven snow.
Boy, that is.
The more acutely you develop your muscles, the further straight you head.
When you stand back on your right side, to hold it back there, right?
Oh, don't get off your right foot. My 2 feet are flat on the ground.
Yes, they are.
Or I think they are.
They are.
That's what I want.
That's what I saw.
Sure. I don't say they're up too quick.
Right.
Because they're spinning.
Right.
I don't spin.
See,
I better know how to go back and what do you use on it?
Yeah. Did you sign this? But,
thank you.
But I'm yeah, I'm
Sir,
different.
all right, so, there ain't no doubt about that.
Hold on. See, hard as this is going down, I want this going
This
up, not around here, up.
Right.
There's what I want.
And where are your shoulders and
Oh, this guy touching this ear if I can. I want him touching that ear if I can.
There?
Yeah, but this guy touching your ear, way, yeah, right under there, like, oh. I don't think we're cramping.
Right.
Under the ear.
Here.
Yeah, not into the ear.
Right.
Like you see people. Way under there. I got room between your chin and your shoulder impact.
Outstanding.
I've been playing.
Not
Right, you're more...
people. Oh, look. Not what they want today. I play into my legs. I don't play on top of my legs. I play into my legs.
Well, what really triggers your downswing? Your left knee.
Oh, I'm going back. My left knee ready to set.
It's already set.
Oh, I'm different. I'm different. I'm altogether different. What I believe and what I do. I'm different than what the world believes today.
No, you're
I'm just so my move is so simple.
Yes, yeah, I think you're going to turn this whole game around. They'll just listen to you.
Okay, welcome to part 3 of this series. Now, you just saw a video of Mo talking about lower body movement transition, which is a it's a critical part of stabilizing lower body so we can accelerate the upper body for speed. So this is a much debated topic. I've done quite a few videos on the channel talking about this, and just keep in mind that this is a 5-part series. This is part 3. If you're interested in the single plane series, make sure you subscribe because you don't want to miss out on part 4 and part 5. One of the problems with teaching on the YouTube channel is that people will go and find an old video and it talks about something maybe advanced, and it's probably too complex Whereas I look at the single plane swing as a process, starting at address. So keep in mind that this series is teaching you, go back to the first video and watch how I'm progressing in the series to teach you the entire swing. So here's the thing about what we're going to talk about today is lower body movement, transition, and how to stabilize the downswing, right? Now, Mo would say things like this: as I'm going back, I'm coming down, right? That's how he kind of mentioned how the backswing is working. But I want to discuss that what I do in the backswing is affecting my ability to transition in the downswing. You're going to understand that here in a second. I see most people's trouble with the downswing that they make a mistake in the backswing. So let's go back and review the backswing just a little bit, and then we'll talk about the transition here. So the backswing, as we mentioned before, at address you're tilted, right? So you have this tilt of your body. And as I go to this first movement here, I'm working around this trail leg and then inside this trail hip, and I'm stabilizing so I can rotate my pelvis, and then my upper body can separate and I get to the top. So notice that my trail leg in my backswing is staying in this angle when I rotate. It's staying there, okay? So I'm rotating around a very stable trail leg, okay? So you're not seeing, the worst thing that I see happen in golf swings is what I call pelvis shift, where people shift the pelvis that direction because it creates a non-rotational movement of the body, and now you got to compensate for a steeply moving upper body, which the club is going to follow that pattern. So pivoting around that trail leg. Now here's the thing about, once we get the backswing correct, we can then get the downswing correct. So remember, in video 1 of this series, I'm talking about we have to work in order here. So if you haven't figured out the backswing yet, this is going to be a very, very difficult movement. So master the first 2 videos before you get to this. Okay, here we go. So let's get into the backswing motion here. And now we're at the top of the backswing. Now, what's going to happen here is that I'm going to move my body into my lead foot. So I'm moving my pelvis into my lead foot. Now, there's a much debated thing about how is this happening, right? Because some guys try to move the knee. So you'll see people do this. You'll see people try to move the lead knee. I'm not a knee mover, and the reason is because I can move the knee without moving the body. So I don't want that to be how you do this. Here's how I want you to move. I want you to move the rotated pelvis. So see, I'm turning the backswing. I want you to move the rotated pelvis into the lead knee. Now, how does that happen? Because the backswing, when we stabilized around the trail leg, and the inside of the trail foot, we didn't roll like this. We are working on the inside of this leg and inside of this foot. That stability allows me to push my body. So you can practice this. You can actually just take the club, rotate into the backswing, and push the pelvis over into that knee. See that? That is pushing from the inside of this leg and inside of this foot. That's pushing me over there. So that's the motion that has to occur. Now let's add that to this transition. So here we go. We're going to the top of the backswing. And then there's that motion right there. I want you to practice that little movement right there. Now here's my little tip for you to practice this. I'm going to hold, I don't want a lot of movement from the top. I don't want the upper body moving from the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to the top, and then I'm just going to make this motion. Try not to turn too much. Just try to transition and work on that little motion. So I'm going to do it again. Go to the top. I don't know if there's going to be something better to work on than that for this year, because here we go again. Notice how my body is still tilted. I'm not leaning. I'm still tilted. And I'm just going to practice stable, 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 stable. And that's how the very first transitional moves occurs in the downswing. I'm not going to take you any further than that right now. So that's your lesson for today in this video series. Address position, get that right. Get the backswing right. And then get that transition, that movement down into that lead knee, because now we're going to start rotating for speed. And that's video 4 of this video series.